I'm Brad Miller, the Pinal County Attorney. Here to talk about constitutionality. We've heard things that are unconstitutional, but I want to talk about our constitutional order and how it's properly addressed. You, in fact, here at this legislative body determine what's constitutional. The judicial branch and the executive branch are three equal branches of government. So if you determine that it's not constitutional, then it isn't constitutional. Now, we heard from Vera Mobility, we've also heard from the Mesa Police Department regarding the constitutionality of these particular photo cameras. Here's the reason why courts are reluctant to actually find these particular cameras unconstitutional, is because in a civil matter, they make a distinction between civil and criminal. In a civil matter, the Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, and Sixth Amendment do not apply. And so they say in a civil matter, you cannot challenge these particular issues. Now, if a person wanted to bring a case against Vera Mobility or Red Flex to challenge these cameras, to get at the data, many courts are very reluctant, including federal courts in Virginia, in Kentucky, and in Texas. These courts have denied our people's ability to seek redress of grievances, basic issues of constitutional order, because they're unable to access the courts. And the reason why? They don't have standing. They don't have standing to challenge these things. So this goes back to one main thing. And the whole reason why we're here, we're talking about data and science and money. But in the end, this whole issue comes down to one thing, and that's putting it back to the people. The people that gave us this power, the people that created this legislature, the people that created the executive branch of where I work in, and the people who created the judicial branch. Should we give the power to the people to decide how they want to be governed, what their standard of due process is? Because they're screaming from the top of their lungs, saying the due process rights that we believe we're owed are not being had with these photo radar tickets, with these photo radar cameras. It feels unconstitutional, it feels unsafe, it feels wrong. And therefore, this issue should go to the people. It belongs with the people because it's the people who gave us this power to begin with in the very first place. With that, I invite any questions, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Please, Madam Vice Chair.
So do you know whether or not, Mr. Miller, if Paradise Valley or Scottsdale or Mesa, was it the city council who made that law and it wasn't really up to the people?
Yeah. So, Mr. Chair,
please,
and Madam Vice Chair, thank you for that question. I think it's an important question because we actually have a federal court case where an individual attempted to challenge the town ordinance and the cameras in Paradise Valley. It was denied and they were kicked out of court. They were unable to redress and to seek redress of grievances in the court under a Paradise Valley case. But if you look under Title 28 or Transportation Code, what it specifically says is it's the town, the local town, or DPS, whoever uses the photo radar, that's the language that's being used. They determine where and the mile per hour and then where the actual line is in the intersection.
Mr. Chair,
please.
Point of clarification. So I thought I heard somebody else testify that it was in statute, that it was the legislature who decides that. Are you saying it's now the city or the vendor who decides that?
Mr. Chair,
please.
Madam Vice Chair. So in 28-1604, it specifically says the local town or essentially the vendor or DPS, whoever is using the photo radar, sets those particular standards of how it's going to be applied. So in this case, with the town of Paradise Valley, the city of Chandler, the various other localities, they're the ones that set those particular standards in accordance with state law. There's no, that I know of, Title 28 code that specifically specifies the mile per hour or where that line is, how bright the flash should be. None of those issues are determined under Title 28. They're actually determined locally by those particular towns.
So they're not, Mr. Chair, they're not equal amongst cities. So whatever Paradise Valley is doing can be completely different than what Mesa is doing.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
May I answer? Madam Vice Chair, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.